Hey, welcome back to MVP Hot Wheels. This is Diesel Mac, and I've pulled out the Chevelles and the Roadrunner as well from Lori and Joe's box I got from them. We already knew that one was potentially suspect. This is the one that I got from them. In the box, same thing with this, but we went over that. You see the scuffing on the windows there where they tried to rub off the tampos. So here is where that particular one came from. Like I'm saying, the collectors.com. This is the China base. There is a Thailand base, so you can see that both of these are exactly the same. And you can see that right in there in the cowl there's a little bit of red that would have been from the tampo. It's pretty tough to get all that tampo out of those small crevices like that, so no biggie on this one. I'm not worried about that one. I only paid a couple bucks for it, and I was just curious to see what it was. So that was nothing that I was worried about on it. This one, however, was one that we went over in the video where I opened the box. You can see here, and we'll zoom this in just a little bit. Those rivets, or what were buttons, I've tried to scratch at a little bit to see if I can get them to screw out, but they did not. So I used a tool here and went right inside there, put a little pressure on it, and sure enough, she popped open. So the other thing I've noticed, now that the window gets out of it, the body is the same body from the newer one that came with the plastic base, so that's what this one is. So they used the wrong body, because this body doesn't have any of that flake in there, or that same tone, I guess. It's got a little bit of flake in it now that you get really up close, but you can tell the difference in that coloring there. And then if you look at the front, you can see where they've done some work to it to get it to go back together. Here's the back one, kind of all mangled up right there from when they drilled it out. The base, so yeah, you can see the screw. See that thread there on that one. This one's done all the way down, but looks like they put some glue right there. So this one unfortunately turned out to be fake, which is all right. I've already talked to Lori and Joe, let them know, so all that's straightened out. I'm not worried about that. I don't think they would never try to do nothing nefarious or anything, so they're going to give me a credit for the next auction or whatever, so no big deal there. But I'm glad that it was me, so that I could find out if it was real or not, instead of somebody else getting it, and then passing it along, continue to pass it along potentially as a real variation. So it is not. The other unfortunate news is that while I was testing this one in that way with this tool here, to get in there, I figured I will try my other gold one as well. I've done a bunch of tests. You can't really see in there very well, because that front rivet sits up pretty far up against where the seat was. So if you pull this apart again, you can kind of see that this goes, it's even got a notch in it where the post is. So if we put this in here, so it gets it fairly hard to see all that, especially down where that is. So that looked like it was legit. But everything else I've done seemed to point to the fact that it was real. The unfortunate part is I have also found out that it is not real, so I have two of these. This one was the wrong body anyway, so that one doesn't matter. But here is the front of, and I'll zoom in on this one as well. And once I put in a little bit of pressure in there, you can see the glue in there, so where the rivet and the post should be. I haven't pulled it apart any further, but I guess it don't matter. We can go ahead and do that now. So there you go. Here is the rivet shaved down. That one is also shaved down. We'll get the, oh, you can't even get the interior out. They have glued that in place, and you see some glue there. So unfortunately, this one is also a fake. I got this from Van Givens, and he told me that the guy that he got it from pulled it off the peg at a store. One thing with that type of information, if you didn't do it, it may not have happened, and just assume that it didn't. This one, however, I went in there and did a little prying on, and this thing is solid. And this has the same wheels. These both came out in 1999, and so nothing crazy there. But this thing is solid. I put some pressure on there to the point where I was almost getting ready to probably bend the wheel up a little bit, and it did not move. So this thing is tight. And from what I've seen in there, I don't see any excessive glue. I don't have any other signs. So far, this one is legit. There is a 5-hole version of this out there as well. I would encourage to kind of do a little test with a tool similar to that. You can put it right in between this wheel. It's kind of hard to watch. Kind of go in here and you see where it's a little tight on this one. But you can get in there, get between the base and the body there where that rivet is, and put just a little bit of pressure and see if the glue pops, if there's glue in there. But this thing did not pop, and seems to be legit. So unfortunately, the white interior on the gold, I have not seen a real one now. I thought I had a real one, and I even made a video about it. I asked questions about it, and there's always that looming, in the background that it could be fake, of course. But I wanted to be, upfront with everybody that what I found. So just, for everybody else out there, if there's a rare car, just be skeptical of it. Do your research about it, and look over it really well. Look at the package. This came in a package, I believe. No, it didn't come in a package. This one did not come in a package. This one came in a package. The package looked really good. I didn't see any signs of tampering on the package, because usually you can, put some nail polish remover on the package. It'll loosen up the glue, or some other chemicals you could use that gets it to come apart. But when you go to put it back together, there's still some signs that it seems like, it's just not as well put back together, right? And you can kind of see some some signs that it was tampered with. Even when they do that, if they use a different type of glue, there's usually some type of residue with that glue that shows that it was glued with some other type of glue. But yeah, so I encourage everybody to pay attention, have some skepticism in some of the rare stuff, especially stuff that are controversial. And like I said, I didn't want to, rarely even wants to go back together. Kind of cool setup that way. But yeah, so I wanted to go over all that with everybody, show you what I found. And it's part of the game. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there trying to scam, and some people aren't trying to scam. They're just trying to make a variation that is maybe outside their means, right? So you could take, these blue Chevelles are, $5. You can find them pretty easily. There's 2 different variations of the blue Chevelle with the pinstripes. I grabbed 2 with the pinstripes. I didn't grab a variation of it. I thought I did. So these are both probably exactly the same. But there's ones where the little outline of the pinstripe isn't on there for whatever reason. And then I have, this one I would call a variation. Could be an error, but all 4 wheels, I'll go with variation. Same thing with the 5-hole. And then they came out with black interior. Now these are both 99 first editions. So for a white interior to be in there, I don't see any reason why that couldn't be possible. There's always parts left over. They didn't make, we'll say 25,000 blue bodies and 25,000 white interiors, and they all went together perfectly. There's going to be some, waste on one side or the other. And so there could be some white in there. So it still could exist, but just, do your due diligence, and hopefully you don't get, I won't say scammed. I mean, I didn't get scammed on this. We talked about it. This one kind of the same, although I paid $150 I think for this variation of it. So I'm not sure what to do with that yet, but we'll figure it out. But you know, like I said, I just wanted to bring all this to the attention, and put it out there, what I have found. And my other video I made of, you know, was this fake or not? So we've kind of answered that question. It is, this particular one is fake. That doesn't mean there couldn't be one. Just like, you know, this may be a one of one, but there could have been several of these that were out there. And, you know, I'd like to see if somebody else has one, but this one's pretty cool. So I still have one awesome one. If I could find or get a hold of the 5-hole one, that'd be cool. And do a, you know, some testing on it to see if it's realistic and not faked. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Hit that like button and subscribe, and hopefully you don't get a fake car thinking it was real. I think this is my 4th one now. So the Dodge Daytona I had a black interior, same deal. And how they do this, I guess I could go over that real quick, right? So what's going to happen is they're going to take a good body, and they're going to drill through the base to get it to release the body so that the body piece doesn't have any damage. And then they're going to take another one, and they're going to drill through the body so that they have what appears to be a good base, so the base doesn't look touched. They'll clean up the edges of the post and the rivet underneath. They'll slide in whichever interior. So in this case, the white interior is the tough one. They'll slide that in there. In this case, they used the wrong body, and they even, you know, put in, so they used a body like this, because this has the blue glass car, and then they, you know, took the plastic base off of this body. And then they'll put them back together. They'll glue, you know, the top of the rivet and the bottom of the post there to keep them together, and then they'll try to sell it as a realistic one. But again, not everybody has negative intent, right? Or malfarious, I don't know, something like that. Malintent, how about that? So, you know, they may have made, like I said, made the variation, you know, if they think this exists, or they, you know, just like the way this looks, so they made themselves a custom one. That's fine. It's just when they go to sell it, if they're not open and disclose the fact that that's what they did, that's where the dishonesty part comes from. Because, you know, people make custom stuff all the time. There's a lot of people that, you know, create them just because they don't have the means to actually get the variation, or even sometimes find it, right? Sometimes they're so rare that they're just, you know, there's just not enough to go around, and people aren't selling them all the time. So give some benefit of the doubt on that. But, you know, as soon as they go to sell it, if they're, you know, not honest about it, then that's when we need to come together as a community and take care of that, and, you know, kind of point it out. So I don't know who made this. I know that where I got it from, I know where I got both of these from. I've reached out to both of them. They're both, well, Lori and Joe are okay. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this, because obviously I don't think the person I got this from paid that much money for it. And so it kind of got passed on, but that was a while ago. It's over probably just for what, 3 years maybe. So I've had it for a while. So I don't know if anything could be done or should be done at that point, but I'm not super worried about it yet. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah, we'll keep on going. We'll keep looking for tough Hot Wheels, and, you know, we'll add variations that aren't in any guides. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.